Off you go.
Hi.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this week's Calorie Crush, and I have got a glamorous special guest. So most of you know Tammy already. If you've been around my channel for a while, you definitely know Tammy. She's been here a long time. A long time. And for anyone who doesn't know, Tammy's recently moved back in. She lived with us once before, and she's moved back in about 6 weeks ago. Yeah. Now, why is Tammy here for the Calorie Crush? Well, firstly, because I've got to get rid of you, Tam. So I thought I'd use this opportunity to say goodbye.
Okay, thanks.
One of the comments on last week's Calorie Crush was that I should consider getting rid of my friends because, but I think because you're a bad influence is what it boils down to.
Okay.
So why don't you tell the people at home just how much of an influence you think you have over me and what I'd like to do?
I wish. I have known you 20 years, coming up for 20 years now, and I don't think anyone could influence you to do something you didn't want to do.
No. I'm easily led, but equally, so are you.
Yeah.
That's not the same as being influenced, is it? Being easily led. What I mean is, when if I've already got it in my mind that I want to eat out or have a dessert, then I'm going to do it. And it will only take the slightest thing to tip me into going, yes, there we go, there's my excuse. That doesn't mean it's Tammy's fault, for example. If Tammy's having a dessert and I have a dessert, it's still my own decision.
Yeah.
If anything, you have more desserts because I'm having one than the other way around.
Yes, I would say that, yeah, because like you said, I am easily led.
Yeah, if anything, I am a worse influence on my friends than my friends are on me. I would say that almost all of my friends have got better willpower than I have. Yeah. So yeah, that was interesting. I'm not really getting rid of her. I'm not. This is not the goodbye. This is not the case.
Good luck moving everything back out of the unit. That's all I've got to say.
But Tammy is here. Tammy is here partly so I could point out that I'm not getting rid of my friends. And the thing is, the person who said it, they said it in good faith. They didn't say your friends are horrible, off they go.
Yeah.
What they said was you should consider socialising less because socialising is your downfall.
But then if you don't socialise with your friends, what's the point of living?
I could eat lettuce all day and sit in my room and drink water.
But you wouldn't be happy.
And I'd be really thin.
You wouldn't be
really miserable.
But you'd be popping antidepressants like they're going out of business.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to social. Everybody needs some, whether it's dinner, sitting around the table, living out with your family, or meeting your friends once a week to do an activity. Everybody needs to socialise.
I think that's a really important point as well, that perhaps the people who are saying things like that, perhaps they have a family that they eat around or whatever, you know. I mean, perhaps they have a partner. For me, as a single person, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to change that in any way, but as a single person, socialising is really important from the whole. Otherwise, I could sit and eat alone and stare at the wall all day, every day, you know. My children live their own lives now. Whilst they live at home, they live their own lives and they fend for themselves food-wise. We very rarely eat family meals because we all work different shift patterns. We're all in and out. We're ships that pass in the night. And so if I didn't eat out, I would eat alone all the time.
Yeah. And from my point of view as well, after I've lived on my own, as you know, for years, very similar, I'm single, but I, unlike Carla, I don't have children. That's never been on my wish list. So living on your own, it is important to get out and see your friends. Even if it is just meeting up once a week for lunch. Because otherwise, all the only people you see are the people you work with.
Yeah.
And as much as you get along with people that you work with, they're not people you have chosen to spend time with. They are your work colleagues. They are there because that is your job. That's how you earn money. But socialising with your friends is absolutely different. I mean, it can really brighten your day. And you've got to have that in your life. You've got to have some kind of socialising with somebody outside of work. Otherwise, you would go.
I think, furthermore, the specific meal that the lady in question was alluding to was when we went to the all-you-can-eat buffet.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she was a bit astounded by the amount of food that appeared on the table. However, firstly, although I had 2 plates full, I only ate a fraction of my second plate because it was far too spicy. So I actually only ate 1 plate of food and 1 dessert. I ate an ordinary-sized meal, despite the fact there was an all-you-can-eat buffet. And the second point was it was Debbie's birthday. It was a birthday celebration, wasn't it, you know?
And Debbie's first plate, because Debbie is also calorie counting, hers was salad.
Yeah, hers was salad.
There was literally just me. I will hold my hands up to it, that had 3 plates of stuff that wasn't particularly healthy.
Yeah, I didn't go back for a 3rd plate because I couldn't be bothered with the crowd.
I had 2 plates and then I had dessert, and I overdid it on dessert because that's the thing with all you can eat buffets, is they had cheesecake and then they had the trifle thing and it's all the stuff that you like, but they're only tiny little bits, and you're just like, well, I'll just have a bit of that and a bit, and all of a sudden, you've got a bowl full of stuff.
Yeah,
and
it was a birthday celebration.
I don't think any of us finished our desserts, did we?
No, and I knew I was going to be getting back onto my calorie counting the next day as well. I knew that was my last hurrah, because I knew I was at the point where I had to do something about it.
But when you look at that, people go, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Yeah, but when you go out for a meal and you have 3 courses, what's the difference? You've still got 3 plates
starters,
of food.
mains, desserts, bread for the table.
Yeah.
You know, coffee, a chocolate mint thing with your coffee afterwards. I never have the coffee. Quite often the people have a coffee. They'll have, for example, a latte. Yeah. A latte is what, 300 odd calories?
Yeah.
I don't have that. I don't have the alcohol. People who go out for a meal will frequently drink an additional 500 or 600 calories worth of alcohol. I don't drink.
When you think that a bottle of the fruit cider that I like is 485 calories.
That's frightening, isn't it? And how many? If you were really out for a good, I'm getting drunk tonight.
I would probably do 4 because then it gets a bit gassy.
Yeah.
But then, if I'm out for the night and I'm going out, then I just go on the vodka,
yeah.
which is fine. I drink vodka and cherry Pepsi Max or Pepsi Max.
Vodka's only about 50 calories a shot.
It's 52 calories for a double.
I don't know 52. Why I know that.
Yeah, I said probably because I've drummed it into you.
Probably
because every time you've gone, are you drinking? I go, it's only 52 calories. I think it's 50 for the vodka and then 50 for the calories and then like 2 for the can of Pepsi Max or whatever. But yeah, I always and then that's what I would do, and I probably have maybe 2 or 3 of those depending on. So
you could probably drink 2,000 calories in a night out.
Yes, easily.
And people don't think about it. And while I'm not telling you not to do that, do what you want. You do you, boo. I think it's important to remember that when you see me out for a meal, I'm probably consuming less calories overall than some of the people I'm sitting with, which is an interesting thing. But that wasn't the main focus of why I thought I'd drag Tammy into today's video. I wanted to talk about Slimming World specifically, slimming clubs in general, other diets and other plans. And the reason I wanted to raise that one is because whenever I put out a Calorie Crush, I get new viewers, and there are often people who don't know me, and they don't know my past story, and they don't know how I'm so fat and what I've tried in the past and what's worked and what hasn't, and so on and so forth. And I always get people recommending Slimming World. Always. And I've said multiple times that Slimming World is not the plan for me. One of the comments on last week's video, the lady began with, I know you've said Slimming World doesn't work. And that's something I've never said Slimming World doesn't work. I'm always very, very careful about my word usage when I'm talking about Slimming World, because I know that for some people, stop doing that. For some people, Slimming World really, really works.
It does.
It wasn't right for me. Where does Tammy come into this? Well, 2 reasons. One is that Tammy has been to Slimming World with me multiple times over the last 20 years. I have been a recurrent rejoiner of Slimming World until I finally decided it's not for me. It doesn't hit the spot for me.
About 5 years
right
ago
for me.
You said that, didn't
you? Yeah, it isn't right for me. I never, on Slimming World, and bear in mind, I've been going to Slimming World, I think the first class I attended, Natalie would have been a toddler. So I've probably been going to Slimming World 25 years, because I went to one before I knew you as well, over in Littlestoke. 25 years. 25 years, on and off. And in those 25 years, I never, ever got more than my 2 stone award, ever. Despite the fact that I was definitely over 20 stone when I started on it, and weight falls off quicker when you're fatter, blah, blah, blah. But I never got more than my 2 stone award, and I always put it all back on. And the lady in the comments said, but you need to go every week, and you need to read the literature. I knew the Slimming World plan like the back of my hand. I went every week. I paid my money every week. It wasn't the right plan for me, and I will go in a minute into why. Why Tammy's here is because not only has she seen me going to Slimming World back and forth, but she also used to be a consultant. I
did, yeah, many years ago. And I point out that when I was a consultant, we're back in the red and green days. So not like recently. I was a consultant in the late 90s, early 2000s, before the Extra Easy plan came out.
So it used to work that you had a red day or a green day, and on a red day you could have unlimited amounts
of meat,
and on a green day you could have unlimited amounts of
pasta, vegetables and things. But now they've combined with the Extra Easy, you can have unlimited amount of meats and unlimited amount of pasta. And I think that's where I've lost, because when I first went to Slimming World, I went as a member before I became a consultant, and I lost 4 stone, I think, before I became a consultant. And then my circumstances changed. I ended up moving away with my job, and I had to give the class up. Then I put weight back on, and then I went again. I joined another group. Again, when you get, we'll go back to the holiday picture. That was the inspiration for joining that group.
Do you want me to put it in if I can find it? If I can find the holiday picture in question, which I think is on Facebook, I will put it in here. In this gap here, there will be a picture of Tammy on holiday, and that was the one that made you go, whew!
Oh dear. Oh dear. I think it was a combination between a badly fitting top and a very strange hair as well. But
and probably bad angle and bad sunshine in your eyes. And you
was like, I took one look at that and was like, right, back to Slimming World. And I went back to Slimming World and I lost 5 stone. And I did. And then I got to Target and everything was great. And then, but I went out of Target.
I've got pictures of you at Target as well. So I'll stick a picture of Tammy in when she lost the weight as well. So you've got some balance.
And I got to Target and then I got out of my Target area because you get £3 each way, don't you? And I got out of that and I never got back into Target. So, and it's not a thing, you start paying again. And then which is
with
fine.
Slimming World, once you've hit Target, you can attend free.
Yeah, you attend. You're literally, as long as you stay at your Target weight within £3 each way, you never have to pay for class again, which is a good thing. But now I just can't make. I've joined in the last year alone. I've joined Slimming World twice, and twice I've paid for a 12-week countdown because I wanted to go and I wanted to commit it, and twice I haven't been able to get my head back into the plan. And the reason I kept going back to Slimming World is because I was a consultant. You've also got that loyalty factor of, I preach this for years. I do know that it works for people, but if you're not there, I found this time, if I'm going to be honest, when I went back to the plan, it was also kind of like I found it a little bit like what's the right words for this? I found it a little bit like boring. I found the food to be a lot blander. And what I found myself doing is to spice things up. Because when you live on your own as well, you don't cook very often. Or at least if you do end up cooking something, you end up then eating it for 3 days. So, but now obviously they've got a wonderful range of Slimming World meals. They've got a lot of them. So what I was finding is I was eating the meals rather than actual cooking food. See, I'm doing this now. Which is fine, but then you're not getting your speed foods in. Because
again, for anyone who doesn't understand the Slimming World plan, you are supposed to have 1/3 of your plate
speed food,
which is a specific list of certain vegetables which will,
or salad items,
which will have more bulk and they're actually less calories, and therefore will fill you and release the energy for longer. This is the idea of the speed food, and will therefore accelerate your weight loss.
Yeah, but I just found I wasn't having the speed food. And then as a result, because of the circumstances, I was living on my own, I was working a lot of strange hours, I then wasn't getting the results that I wanted. But that's down to my lifestyle. But then when I realised I was going to have to do something else, because I, this time, couldn't make Slimming World work for me. And I have tried twice in the last year, as I have joined. I paid for a 12-week countdown so that I was committed to doing it. But I just haven't been able to get back into it. So last month I started calorie counting. And that seems to be, but I'm enjoying the calorie counting mainly because I think one of the restrictions that I found with Slimming World is I can have a salad. Now, I don't mind salad, but I don't particularly like lettuce. I'm not the biggest fan of lettuce, I'll be honest with you, and I'm allergic to tomatoes. So that takes out, when you go out and you buy a salad, that basically takes out 2 of the major components of a salad for me, because I can't eat the tomatoes and I don't particularly like lettuce. So what you find when you go out is most salads then consist of cucumber and maybe some chopped red onion if you're lucky. And that's all I was getting. So I would go out and I'd try to have a salad, but when I make a salad at home, I can put a bit of spinach in it. I can add radishes and spring onions and things like that. But then what I was finding is to make it taste nice, I like the little crispy onion flakes, and I like nice salad dressing. But I can have the honey and mustard one with calorie counting.
So on calorie counting, you can have those things, and you can just go, right, I'm going to have my little portion and I'll work it out. On Slimming World, you're going to use up all of your sins just on your salad.
And that was the thing, is I find that I'm not I'm having the same salad as what I was having with Slimming World, but I'm not using half of my day's calorie
and you're not
allowance.
resenting it so much.
No, because I'm enjoying it.
I found that I would use up my sins on, because that's another thing that Slimming World say, is they say, we know your sins are there to enhance your meals. So make sure you use your sins on your salad dressing or whatever. I would then resent that I had used my sins on a bloody salad.
Yeah.
And now I didn't have any sins left for something nice. Because in my head, no matter how much I've enjoyed the salad, it wasn't the something nice. The something nice is the treat.
Yeah.
So one of the things for Slimming World for me as well is because the other thing this lady said in the comment was you need to read the literature and make sure you understand it. Well, after, like I said, I know the plan inside out. Believe me, I do understand it. It's not right for me because my brain doesn't operate the way that it needs to for Slimming World to work. The key word in Slimming World is you can eat as much of X as you need. I would say that 90% of Slimming World returnees hear the word want, not need.
Yeah.
You can eat as much of that as you want. You can have as much pasta as you want. You can have as much potatoes as you want. If you are a morbidly obese person, it is a fair chance that you don't know when your need ends and your want has taken over. It's a very, very strong chance that you stopped listening to your body many, many years ago. You don't know where need ends. You just go, I want. A lot of very big people feel like if their plate isn't very full, they're going to be hungry afterwards because they've got used to the larger portions. And so they go, I can have as much pasta as I want. And so they whack on the pasta. I could easily do a 1,500 calorie meal alone, eating as much pasta as I want, and I can have as much meat as I want in bolognese, and I've made my bolognese with passata, which is free, and I've put in some speed veg, so yay for my speed veg, and so I've done my speed, and I can have as much meat as I want, and everything on my plate is free, and I've got a spaghetti bolognese the size of Aberdeen, and I'm plowing into it, feeling virtuous. And I've easily done 1,500 calories in that one meal. And in my head, I've been fine. And now I can go and have my 10 sins. I didn't use any of my 10 sins, did I? Didn't use any of my sins on my spaghetti. And that's just one meal. It doesn't work for me because my mind doesn't work the way that a Slimming World mind needs to work for it to work. Now, I'm not slating Slimming World. When I say it's not right for me, you do you. I'm not slating it. I think it's got very expensive, but I'm not slating it. I'm not slating it. The other thing that worries me about slimming groups in general, particularly the ones that are franchised, the ones where you buy your franchise, which you do with Slimming World.
You do,
You pay to be a consultant.
Yeah.
And it's expensive, isn't it?
It's not cheap, no.
It's expensive, so you pay a lot of money. But you don't actually have to have any nutritional qualifications. You do get training.
You do get training, yeah, but you don't. You're not qualified.
Yeah,
no.
and yet your consumer base, your customers, your clients, what are they called? Your class members. That was what I was trying to get to. Will treat you as though you have those qualifications. They will believe in you. They will believe that you are educated to tell them what is good, what is bad, what is right, and what is wrong. And I personally worry that the fact that Slimming World charges you to become a franchisee means that they are less dedicated to making sure you know what you are doing. And my basis for saying that is because I have had consultants who 100% did not know what the heck they were doing. I'm not going to name them, but the lady who we went to... you know the one I mean. I'm not going to name her.
Yep.
Yeah. Not a clue. Not a clue. She wouldn't have known a nutritional fact if it had stood up in her soup and belted her around the face. And it worries me that you can therefore be in a position of, not power, but what's the word I want? A position of responsibility, thank you, and not necessarily have the backup for it. That said, like I said, if Slimming clubs suit you, I've also done Weight Watchers because there was somebody else said, "Oh, you should do Weight Watchers." Didn't like Weight Watchers.
I got my head around the points calculator. They give you this. Did you have the twirly dial thing?
We had a little thing.
Yeah, you turned it round and it's...
Yeah, I mean, but we're going back a bit now.
Yeah, we are old, man. Yeah. We're old school.
Yeah, we are. I think what I'm trying to get at is I have done all of them. I've tried all of them. The only one that ever worked for me, the only one that got my weight off was calorie counting. It clicked and I know how to do it. And that's the thing. I do know how to do it.
It's just doing it. I've
just gone through the last 18 months of not really wanting to do it. Wanting a magical fix, but not really wanting to put the effort in. My mindset is back. My mindset is back where it was. I am, touch wood.
Thanks.
Touch wood. I am so
Focused.
there at the moment.
You are focused at the moment, and that is a good thing about you, because of your personality, when you are focused on something, you are driven.
I hyper-focus. This is one of the ADHD things that I hyper-focus on.
You just womb at it, and you will do great. It's when you start to lose that focus, and that's when sometimes we are going to have to say,
yeah,
you won't like it.
Yeah.
But
also I have oppositional defiance disorder.
Yeah, you do.
Which means when you tell me not to do something, I decide I'm going to do it more.
I usually find it's easier to like dare you to do something, because then, like, you know.
Well, tell me I can't.
No, tell you can't is the worst thing.
No, tell me I'm not able to. I don't mean.
Yeah, tell you I'm not able to. Tell you can is like a red rag.
Yeah, don't tell me I'm not allowed, but tell me I'm not able, and what should we do?
Yeah, you can. You couldn't get through that plate of salad if you tried, and then salad gone. You know, yeah, well done.
Yeah,
yeah, you don't. Yeah, but that's the thing, is you just need to keep the focus.
Yeah. So Tammy back on a weight loss journey.
Yes.
And how well have you done? Tell them what you've done in 2 weeks.
Lost
is it?
£4 this week. 5. I can't remember.
Make up some numbers, Tam.
I'll just make some numbers. I think I'm just short of £7 off.
Shall I find out the truth?
I think I am.
Because we've got the Renfo scales, and you can put more than one person in the app. So I've got Tammy in my app as well.
Is it I want to say 6.6.
From the 26th of February, you are now down 6.6 pounds in weight.
Oh, it was right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to work out whether we're talking about this week, this month. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't do very well in February or March.
If you want to know, from the 6th of April, which is
2 weeks ago. That's last week.
What's the date today? Today's the 15th. Yeah, so that's 11 days ago. So the 8th, the 9th, what was
6th? You're just as bad as
last Monday was the 8th. Oh, last Monday you were 232, and now you're 228.6.
Yeah, so I lost £4 this week, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've started to lose weight again because I stopped smoking.
Yeah.
And I promised myself I would give myself a year without worrying about my weight, so that I could keep off the cigarettes, because that's the worst thing for me. Is the reason why I didn't want to stop smoking is because I didn't want to put on weight. So I promised myself I would give myself a year from stopping smoking to not worry about my weight and just not care and just concentrate on giving up cigarettes, which has been now, that is where we are now. So this is why I am back on it. I've had my year of getting that out of my system, and now I'm back doing it.
Yeah, she's doing well. I'm doing okay. We went out for... The thing is, that's another thing. People talk about, you're not going to be able to go out for meals. We went out for breakfast this morning. We had Calorie. We had both us scrambled eggs on toast. I'm not stopping going out. I'm not stopping socialising, because I don't want to be bloody miserable. Because if I'm miserable, I'll turn to food. If I'm miserable, I'll start ordering whole cakes.
Yeah.
From sponge.com.
Yeah, we did. We had to take the gas to the garage, didn't we? We went and had his nails done.
Yeah, I've had my toenails done. You won't see the results of that. I'm going to put the weigh in a minute, and obviously that was done this morning before I went to have my toenails done. But I have had them done now, because they were shocking.
They were terrible.
They were in a shocking state. Like I said, it's not been a priority.
No, it's winter as well, and it's you're in trainers and boots, and then all of a sudden it starts.
I've not been going anywhere. Nobody was going to see them, and so I didn't bother. You should see me hairy legs. No, you shouldn't.
No,
you don't want to see me hairy legs.
But yes, and then it was just easier, wasn't it? It was convenient. We were already out and about, but we had breakfast this morning for under 470 calories.
Okay, with 470 calories we worked out, because they used the thick sliced bread, and we asked the lady how many eggs they used, and she said it's 3 eggs each. So
yeah, so it's 470 calories.
If I'd known that they were going to use thick sliced bread, I would have asked for only 1 piece of toast. What I did do, though, was cut off the crust off my toast, because that chops off some of the calories. You know, not all of it. I ate the thin crust, but not the fat crust.
Not the big bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was nice. And it was nice to go out and have that. We were out and about, and it was nice to do something before obviously coming back. But yeah, we're not going to stop eating out. That's never going to happen, because I personally...
But we are trying not to have the heavyweight takeaways. Definitely trying to avoid those.
Yeah.
And just to make the good choices on the menu while I'm out. You know, I'm not... I used to really resent, if I went out to eat, I used to resent having to make the good choices, because I'm like, well, I'm paying for this meal and I want to have what I'm going to enjoy. But I also, I'm at the point now where the pain is outweighing that. I want to not hurt so much all the time. I want to not be going down the stairs holding on to it. I'm at the point of thinking I want another banister fitted so I can get up and down the stairs, you know, so that I've got one on each side. I don't want this. I don't want this at my age. And it's not going to get any better if it's like this at my age. Unless I deal with it, I'm not going to be any better later on. I'm going to be worse. So, right, I'm going to jump on the scales. I'll put that. I'm not going to. I've already jumped on the scales. I'm going to put the scale footage in now. £340.8. I lost £5. I got £5 off this week. I'm very pleased. Last week I had £4 off, but I knew that a lot of that was water weight because I knew that I'd been bloated when I got on the scales in the starting point. So yeah, £5 off this week, and I'm really pleased. It's been a good week. It's been an easy week as well. Even Saturday, so I was going out Saturday with Tamsin, and I was like, I'm going to have to make some decent choices. But actually, it was really good. It was really. It was no trouble at all. The only thing that I did Saturday that I was unsure about was I'd had a bubble tea, and when I was looking at the label on it afterwards, it said full sugar, and I was like, God, how many calories? It's about 210 calories for a bubble tea.
That's not too bad. That's
not the end of the world.
Not the end of the world. That's less than a latte.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really pleased. Another £5 off. That takes me to £9 in total for 2 weeks. So that's my first half a stone nailed. I'm so focused.
You are focused.
I'm so focused.
And it is good to see.
I'm not going to be thin. I'm never going to be thin. But
wait, that's the thing, isn't it? Well, I'm going to jump back to my Slimming World days then. It doesn't matter what your idea of thin is. Okay, so it was one of the things where people could come into a group and they could weigh 25 stone. And if they wanted to get to a size 20 or a size 18 in clothes, that was perfectly acceptable. That's what they want to be. If you come in at a size 18 and your goal is to get down to a size 12, that's fine as well. If you come in at size 12 and you want to lose weight because you've always been a size 8 and you've had a baby, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how thin you are, so long as you are happy with your weight. And that's it. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter what society perceives to be fat people or, oh, she's too thin. If you've always been a size 6... and you've had kids and you've gone up and you're now a size 10 and you're unhappy, you're still unhappy. You're still entitled to lose weight as what somebody who is 20, 30 stone is. You've still got that right. If you're unhappy with your body, you have the right to do something about it. But also you have the right to stop when you're happy as well. You don't need to carry on just because people think you should be thinner. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's stupid. And absolutely. You do what you need to do.
My first target that I've got in mind is I want to get back off the weight that I have regained. I want to get back to where I was, because I'd got down to under 20 stone. And basically put 5 stone back on and got to 25 stone again. So I want to get back to where I was, and then I'll be able to look forward from there, Yeah.
And as you go, I've broken mine down into I work better with little girls. So you're like, you say to me, right, so I want to lose 4 stone. I know I want to lose 4 stone, but if I tell myself I'm going to lose 4 stone,
it feels like too much of a mountain.
Attitude is, oh, you'll never do it. What's the point? You'll never do it. So I've broken mine down into little bits. So it's I want to get down to this weight. I want to lose half stone. Then I want to get down to this weight. And doing it in pounds as well has made it easier because I can go down in £5 as well as weight loss.
Yeah.
So I've got little targets. So even though I've only lost half a stone, I've hit 3 little targets of what I set myself, which also then motivates me as well, because every time I take a little target off, and my next one is to lose £2. So when I do that, I'll be happy because I can tick another little target off. So whereas you've got big figures in your head.
Molly just came in from the garden. Apparently it's raining because she's wet now.
So whereas you've got big figures in your head, I need to work in little segments. If I have a big number thrown at me, I'm like,
I'm not seeing it as a figure as much as I want to undo. Camera only records for 30 minutes and it cut us off. But we were saying about targets and what to lose and whatever. And I said that I want to undo the damage that I've done. Yeah. That how much I've regained, didn't I? Yeah. I don't know what we said after that. Don't know.
I don't know. Can't have been important.
Can't have been important. Probably just us waffling on.
It's just a menopause. We can't remember what we did 5 minutes ago.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I'm not getting rid of my mates. I'm not stopping eating out. I'm not going to Weight Watchers. I'm not going to Slimming World. I'm not following any of the different diets that anyone keeps suggesting. I very much appreciate that all of the suggestions come from a good place. They come from people wanting to help. But I'm quite happy with the calorie counting plan.
And
I know how to do it. Happy. I'm happy with my friends up to a point. Yeah. But I know how to calorie count. I know how it works. Calorie counting has never failed me. I stopped doing it. Calorie counting has never stopped working. I literally just stopped putting my all into it, and I need to get back to that. And like I said, I'm very focused at the moment, so that's all good. It's all going okay. So I know what I was about to say. I was about to say that I do set tiny challenges, because I look at the scales, and if they say I'm going to pick a random, if they said 350.6, I'd say to myself, tomorrow I'm going to be under the 350. I get on the scales every day. That's what I was saying. People always say you shouldn't weigh every day. It's what works for me. If I get on the scales in the morning and I've done well the day before, it gives me a boost and the encouragement to do it again. If I get on the scales and I haven't done well the day before, it gives me a bit of a smack around the chops and the push to do it. To do it. Yeah, to try harder. It works for me. Everyday weighing doesn't work for it. However, I only take notice of my actual loss once a week. So if I get on the scales Monday and I'm 350, and I get on the scales Wednesday and I'm 348, I don't go, oh, I've lost £2. I go, okay, I'm losing. It's going down, it's going down. I don't actually take any notice of how much I've actually lost until the following Monday. Yeah. So I'm still taking the weight loss as a weekly thing. I'm just getting on the scales daily to keep myself on track. And like I said, setting those tiny targets. If I'm 340.6, I want to be under 340 tomorrow. And that's actually 0.6 of a pound. You know, that's nothing, but it's tiny little things. And I'm going to do that. And I get on it, and I've done it, and I feel good, and I go, right, I can do it again.
Yeah. I think that thing as well, with when they say, oh, you should only get weighed once a week, or you should only get weighed in this, and especially you see it with members when the Summer World thing, that they're wearing summer dresses when it's snowing outside.
Yeah, they're turning up in January in the outfit they joined in July.
And that's their weighing outfit, and you think to yourself,
and they're freezing. They're blue.
Freezing your backside off, love. Put a pair of tights on with it, and that. It's at that point, it's not going to make that. I understand you're not going to go out and get weighed in knitting. I've got jeans and a jumper on today because it's quite windy out. We've been out this morning, but I wouldn't go and get weighed in this to class. Absolutely not. There's no way I'd turn up to Slimming World in this. But yeah, you do what suits you best. Some people like to get weighed in the evening. I find my class was in the evening, and for the first, literally, I would see people going to get weighed and then sitting down with their picnic boxes.
Yeah, because they
hadn't eaten all day.
Tamsin was doing it. Tamsin, bless her, was going to an evening class, and she was like, well, I don't eat on a Monday until after class. I was like, but you don't go to class till 6 p.m.
Yeah, my class was at 6:30, and people come in and go, I haven't eaten all day, and I'm like, that is not healthy.
Yeah.
That is not healthy. It just isn't.
No, you'll mess up your bowels if nothing else, surely.
Yeah, it's just not that. Especially if you've got a physical job, it's certainly not that healthy to go without food for that long period of time and run around. You will do yourself some damage.
Yeah.
It's not healthy. It really isn't.
Yeah, I think that is one of the issues of a slimming class member's mindset.
Yeah.
Not slating any particular slimming class, but the member's mindset is that, oh, I really want to do well. And another thing people talk about is getting the support of the group members. I don't want it. I don't enjoy the group aspect of a slimming group. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy sitting there becoming resentful because somebody across the room has had 4 takeaways this week and has lost 4 pounds.
Yeah.
That doesn't help me at all. That just makes me resentful, and it's not fair. But I also don't particularly want to sit there and share my week. When they come round to you, I don't particularly want to do it.
No.
It's not for me.
Even as a former consultant where I have done image therapy with people, but I'm very aware of the fact that I hate it. I hate when I used to go to Slimming World afterwards. I used to sit and count the amount of people in the room and then wonder where I was going to be in that, and whether and I just
can I go home before they get to me?
Can I sneak off with them, pretend I've
even if you've had a good week, even if you've had a good week and lost a load of weight, I don't enjoy the group aspect of it at all.
This is thing. It is not for everyone. If you put me up in front, I would say I have done it. I've been a consultant. I can stand there in a group. For a room full of people. I used to be a trainer and I can train them, but you sit there and you put me on the spot in a room full of people, I'm a different person. I'm
not
don't
shy.
Enjoy that
I'm not shy. I just don't want to. I don't want to open up.
Enjoy it.
I don't. It's weird how I can open up to the camera. I can sit here and chat like this, and I can talk. And last week's video, I was very open about how I was feeling. It's not that it's not that I can't do it. I don't enjoy it. I don't feel, and also I don't think you do get support from your class members, because they all go home and they go back to their day-to-day life. I don't need support during the 1 hour a week when I'm sitting in the class. I need the support during the rest of the week when I'm trying not to have a cake, and they're not there for that, Yeah,
it's difficult. And let's say I do know Slimming World works. I say I've done that, I've been there, and it's
just not right for me.
It's just not.
It's not right,
and I'm not in the mindset for it myself at the moment. But I said it does work. But it works. It's down to individual people. Weight Watchers works for people.
Yeah.
Keto works for people. I couldn't get my head around that at all. That's another one I couldn't get my head around. Just eating fat, it doesn't.
I think
blows my tiny little mind.
If you've had years and years of Slimming World, that's another thing as well, that you're trying to fight against the.
Yeah, butter. No, you don't have. No, what? No.
See, I have butter now on calorie count. Not very much. I don't lather it on because I literally ask myself, how many calories do I actually want to spend on my butter? And the answer is not more than about 60.
See, that's another thing is what I always used to do with Slimming World is I would look at my sins in monetary value. So it's like, if it's 8 sins for a bar of chocolate, I think to myself, well, I spent £8 on that. And if the answer is no, then I ain't having it. I'm not spending. If you sometimes, and that works for me. It works for me in terms of if I'm putting together a salad and I've got the salad in at like £3.30, 330 calories, and I'm like, would I spend £3.30 for that? And I'm like, yeah, I would.
Yeah, so I don't do it monetary, but I do it in that how much of my allowance am I willing to use up on this item?
Yeah,
I try and do no more than 400 for breakfast, no more than 600 for lunch, no more than 800 for an evening meal, which leaves me 200, 300 for snacks. And then if I economise somehow by having a lower calorie breakfast, I've got a bit extra for a snack or a little extra to add on to another meal. And with that in mind, when I'm doing my lunch and I want to do it under 600 calories, if I've already got a jacket potato in the filling and that's going to take me to 550, I will literally try and have 40 calories of butter. And to bring it in, and that's what works for me. But everybody's different. Everybody does it a different way. People will ask, which app do I use to track my calories? Because new people that haven't seen always come in and ask, which app is it used? I use NutriCheck, and I'm not sponsored. I think you can just about see it. I'm not sponsored by NutriCheck in any way. They don't know I exist apart from the fact that I use their app. But it is, in my opinion, a very good calorie counting app. It's about 25 to £30 for an entire year to use it. It's not a free app, about 25 to 30 quid. If you go over to Kaza's channel, I'll try and put a link in for that. Kaza has a discount code for NutriCheck, and you get it for cheaper and you get an extra month, whatever. But in my opinion, it's well worth it. Well worth it. There are other free calorie counting apps you can use. I didn't get on with them. I
use MyFitnessPal, and that is free. You can pay to use it as well. There is a premium one that you can pay. But I find that it works well. I can track my weight loss. I can track my calories. It's got a barcode scanner on there. When you search for food, usually everything pretty much comes up. So if you don't want to pay, there's MyFitnessPal. I personally get along fine with it. Yeah. So there's plenty of options out there. Okay. Thank you so much, Tammy, for sitting down and chatting. I got her out of bed for this. I was sitting on the bed playing Sims. Sitting in bed under a duvet playing Sims, and I was like, oh, come on, we're doing this now. So thank you for that. I think hopefully it's been interesting. Hope you enjoyed it. And thank you all for so many supportive comments last week, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I have read every single comment. I don't reply to all of them. I have read all of them, and I appreciate every single supportive comment. And even the ones that put my back up slightly because I'm an RC cow, I appreciate the spirit in which they were given. I didn't have a single nasty comment, I don't think. Not a single one. Somebody did call me a waste of oxygen, but that was on a reselling video. Oxygen thief. But thank you. I've called you worse. Thank you all for all your support. I thoroughly appreciate it. I am back on track. I am very focused at the moment. Onwards and downwards. Total weight loss so far at £9. If I can get another £1 off this week, we're getting to double figures. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Yeah. Lovely. Thank you. And I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.